This common mistake of focusing too much on the opponent's defensive line can actually hinder you in the attack in FIFA 22 and prevent you from scoring goals. I'm about to break down how to overcome this for you guys.
Griezmann, 3 men around him, and somehow finds some space. Ronaldo, fantastic, opening the drive back.
He's made himself the tiniest bit of space.
Almost feels like a bit of a time. Didn't really go for it. Oh! The display there is absolutely ridiculous. The Elastico on the goal line. On the goal line, the finest.
We talked about Aussie FIFA. He's not here to make up the numbers.
The trouble is, look, we know that drop back is, let's just say, broken. I mean, it's hard to get past the opponent's defense, especially when there is, two walls of full players, especially if they're using like a 4-4-2. You've got 4 defenders, 4 midfielders. All people focus on is that though. And that's the common mistake, lads. It's kind of a mentality tip for you guys here today, but it's also a technical one as well. But I want to break down in general how you can overcome this. Now, the thing is, when you focus too much on the defensive line and how your opponent is setting up and if he's dropping back, then your attack will be, let's just say, lackluster, and you won't be focusing too much on your attackers, you'll be focusing too much on the defense. And that's the mistake people fall into. You're not focusing on what your runners are doing, you're not focusing on who is, showing for the ball. You're more focusing on the fact that your opponent is dropping back and that you're finding it hard to break him down. Look, it's a mentality thing in the fact that if you focus too much on the defensive line, your mentality will drop pretty much because you're focusing too much on how your opponent is playing. And I've done that, breakdown of how that can actually hinder your mentality in a different video before. And you can check that out just by typing in Aussie FIFA or Dylan Banks mentality tips FIFA and it will come up. But basically, lads, it will hinder your attack because you're focusing too much on the defensive line and you'll get triggered as well because you're like, my opponent, he's dropping back. There's so many defenders back. He can't defend, blah, blah, blah. Yes, lads, I know it can be frustrating, but we need to overcome this by attacking on the wing. And I'm about to break down for you guys how to do that. Now, I personally use the 4-2-2. You don't have to use this, but I recommend if you're struggling to break down an opponent who's dropping back, switch to a wide formation, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-2-2, 3-5-2, anything with wingers and anything that you're able to take the ball out to the wing with. Now, what this does is it drags the defense out to that side so you can open up the space in the center of the pitch, and this will basically allow you guys to open up the space in the center. If you go at the center, there's too many defenders and a lot of the time you'll be too congested and it'll be hard to find balls into the striker. If you go into the wing though, what you'll notice is a lot of the defenders will slide that way. The gap in the space in the middle in the 18-yard box will start to open up, and those attackers will start to drift into that space. That is when they can receive the ball, turn, pass again, and then shoot the goal into the back of the net. That's what you guys can do when you're struggling to break down your opponent. And this tutorial was inspired by a lot of you guys commenting, how do I break down drop back? My opponent always has a wall of defenders and I can't get through him. He uses 5 at the back and I can't even get through, the center or the wing. Lads, focus on keeping the ball on the wing and dragging them out that side. Okay? When you stick to a side, they will drag out. It's like normal football. It's the same as the game. They will drag out to that side and the space will open in the center, lads. It's how it works and it will work, okay? But that will see on the end of it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm doing tutorials on Instagram and TikTok. I'm also coaching one-on-one on patreon.com. The links are in the description for that, okay? I can work one-on-one with you guys. Basically, I break down gameplay that you send me. I then give you some notes to work on. Once you've worked on those, for a week or so, we then reconvene with a one-on-one session and I basically see how you go in a live gameplay situation and how you've implemented that feedback. If you're struggling, I then help you with that feedback, but if you're not, we then work on other things that I can spot, and that is usually, a very, it's a unique way of coaching, but it does work, lads. I've taken people from Div 10 to Elite Division, so it is working, lads. By all means, go and check that out. But that will sing at the end of it. I hope you have a good one. I'm out. Sayonara, au revoir, adios, salam, ciao. Goodbye.